Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger, new birthday countdown animation commentary. Go! So it's a bit of a new birthday animation commentary. Go! Do I have to say what happened to me in 2011? I think you guys already know the answer. If you didn't, you probably wouldn't have subscribed on my channel in the first place. In fact, much of my channel kind of began because of this. Hence why I made this channel today. Even though I actually came out 2 years before, but nevertheless, it was this, whatever this did, it helped build my fan animation career and how most people recognize me today. I probably should move on to something brand new, like a brand new IP or something, but once I make a proper finale for all this, then maybe. But nevertheless, I'll still continue on for as long as I can. Maybe until next year or 2029 or something, when it's my 20th anniversary on being on YouTube, Newgrounds, and DeviantArt, or maybe on the 20th anniversary of Skylanders, which is 2031. But there are plenty of options. But again, one day I may have to end my stuff there. But okay, moving right along. So, like I said, this is what happened to me. I got this particular franchise in 2011. It was at Best Buy, believe it or not, before it got closed in England. And because of that, you probably already know which is my most favorite video game. But what is my most favorite TV cartoon? The Amazing World of Gumball. It's so surreal, so creative. They mimicked several different art styles and other things. They poked fun of meta things as well. You know, basically there's one entire episode which is basically an extension of the Chowder line, "No money means no animation." There's even one episode where Richard gets a job and it kind of destroys the status quo of the show. They poked fun of that. And there's one episode... There's even one episode that focuses entirely on other characters, on the background characters, and sometimes the tone shifts a bit. Like there was one episode that parodies a teen drama that focuses on another character. Gumball's a very creative show, and I heard it's coming back this year. Honorable mentions that year: Bob's Burgers. Admittedly, I didn't understand the appeal at first, but a fan of mine did request me that, and there was the Bob's Burgers movie. And when it was available on Disney Plus, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should check out the series and then take a peek at Bob's Burgers. It's better to get familiar with Bob's Burgers before I check out the movie. I mean, the Simpsons movie, I went in almost straight ahead when it was released because I was already familiar with the Simpsons at the time. Green Lantern, the animated series. One of the last DC-made cartoons made before 2023, where we have Beware the Batman and, of course, Teen Titans Go. Oh. Yeah, I think it was pretty underrated, and it has a nice space themes. I'm a bit of a sucker for space-themed cartoons. And seeing the Green Lantern Cruise, it kind of reminds me a little of the Buzz Lightyear Star Command, in a sense. And then there's Ninjago, the Masters of Spinjitzu, or Lego Ninjago. Oh. And it started off as a movie, and then it became a full-fledged series, and I remember being quite addicted to it when it first came out. In fact, it was when I was in the United States in 2012, that was when I actually saw Lego Ninjago in the US first before I saw it anywhere else in England or Malaysia. And of course the Looney Tunes show, the one where it's a bit more grounded compared to the other Looney Tunes incarnations, but I still think it's pretty funny with having a bit more dialogue based and a bit more relatable situation. I know it's not really what Looney Tunes is about. I mean, Looney Tunes was supposed to be a bit more off the wall and bouncy and more something like that. But there are other ways the Looney Tunes can be funny, and it's not just slapstick. They can be. In fact, some of their dialogue from the original cartoons is also pretty funny, and this one also relies a bit more on dialogue. It was also the last time we hear Granny do the June Foray do the voice of Granny. Before she got hit before an injury caused her to be knocked out for a few years, and then she passed away. Pretty sad. Anyways, what was my favorite animated movie of 2011? So for this movie, it's Arthur Christmas, made by Aardman, the same people who made Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, Flushed Away, and Chicken Run. It was their second animated film to be done completely in CGI rather than stop motion, and yet I can see I see that they did a wonderful job at it. The creativity, the absurdity of the absurd theory of how Santa was able to deliver all those presents within one night, a spaceship the size of a city. In fact, Arthur Christmas was precisely why I made my Skylanders Christmas animation, and it was one of my earliest successes, and what makes me a recognizable animator today, or back in the 2010s. I'm kind of invisible at this day and age, but at the very least, it was something to remember. Honorable mentions include Rio, showcasing that Blue Sky can do other original franchises besides Ice Age. And it makes me want to visit Rio, though I have to be careful in case of any Brazilian wandering spiders. Kung Fu Panda 2, a worthy successor to the original Kung Fu Panda movie. And kind of a tearjerker too, as we dive into the backstory of Po, Puss in Boots. A worthy spin-off to one of Kung Fu Panda, to the Shrek franchise. In fact, both Shrek and Toy Story are a little similar. They both have 4 films released right now, 4 main films released right now, a 5th film coming soon, and they have at least 2 spin-off films based on their side characters, like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, and Lightyear, and Puss in Boots, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And they both have TV series focusing on that too, like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command and the Puss in Boots series on Netflix. And Rango, very realistic CGI. I thought the backgrounds were all live action and the characters were CG, but no, it's actually most of it is completely CGI, and it's beautiful to look at. But of course there are some cartoony moments like with Rango, but nevertheless it's a solid western and one of Johnny Depp's best movies. And finally, which is my favorite video game? Do I have to answer that? I think you guys already know the answer. Do I even have to explain how it changed my life and how it helped revolutionize who I am today and who I decided to become, and why I became more and more into fantasy and stuff. In fact, this game, along with My Little Pony, is what got me more into fantasy. Anyways, for my honorable mentions, there's Mortal Kombat, which is the 2011 remake of the first trilogy. I think it's the best of the of the NetherRealm Studios made Mortal Kombat films. Before, much of it was made by Midway, and I think this one is the best. The sequels have kind of downgraded a bit, but still a bit fun to play, except MK1 because that one I got on the Switch. Not very great. But I think Mortal Kombat 2011 is the best of the bunch, the best told story, the best use of the chapter thing, and the more memorable fatalities. The other honorable mention is Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing. It was the first time I played as Banjo-Kazooie for the Xbox, and it was kind of a fun racing game. That's all I have to say, really. Ratchet and Clank All for One. You get to play as 4 characters in a somewhat Skylander-ish or Marvel Ultimate Alliance type of style. You get to play as Ratchet, Clank, Captain Quark, and Dr. Nefarious. And Transformers Dark of the Moon, the prequel game to the Transformers Dark of the Moon movie, where it kind of explains how Shockwave came to Earth and stuff. And it had a nice War for Cybertron feeling, but I'll admit they could have tuned a bit more, and they could have expanded it a bit more, like include a few more characters. If it wasn't made in a rush, we probably would have gotten a bit more. And also, for this animation, the formula has also changed a bit. So rather than having no backgrounds, I have Black Rhino Ranger in a carnival, a circus. And over here is Darwin, representing Gumball. And he looks up, and you see that boss guy, this guy over here? He's from the episode where Gumball and Darwin try to get a refund because the game they try to play doesn't work. But they say no refunds. So how about a 1% discount? And he sold us a paper shredder instead. And you see over here is this little fish thingy. I think I drew this fish based on Rango's goldfish. I don't know. And also, this is how Darwin does it. He spits the balls towards the targets. They all hit, but it doesn't count. I got this idea from Despicable Me, where they keep trying to hit the targets. One of them did hit the targets, but again, they say nope. But it says Buzz's no, and but then Gru uses his gun and won the prize for his daughter. And he's sad, but then I got angry, so I did basically what I did with the Gru thing. And this is my custom looking gun. I'm trying to redraw the gun to be as cartoonish as possible so it doesn't look like a realistic arms. Otherwise, I'd probably get into trouble. So I'm trying to redraw it as cartoony as I can. I bought some Nerf guns based on dinosaurs to help me better understand how to design the gun. Maybe this one's a bit too big. I probably should do a smaller version, but it's a start. It's a start. So the noise is a bit big. So he brings up the prize. And you may notice there's a bit of a white thing over there. So Darwin grabs onto it while I grab the letter. And the letter is from John TVs. Have you ever played Plants vs. Zombies? I most certainly have. I said, no, I have not. In fact, I have not. I did do a few fan arts on them. And they were mostly by request. And I only did one fan art by myself. Because apparently there's a zombie versus plant thing called a Snapdragon. And I was thinking to myself, Snapdragon, where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, the Headmaster Horicon Snapdragon from Transformers. He can transform into a dinosaur and a tech jet. And there's another character named Snapdragon from High Guardian Spice, one of the better characters, even though there's still a bit of flaws with her. Yes, it's a her. She transitioned from a male to a female, though we don't kind of see that in the show. And there's Terra Snapdragon from the Owl House. It's played by Deborah Wilson. Anyway, so I ride on a roller coaster that says Sidewinder, and it's like a sting. I think I got this idea from a roller coaster factory game. And the S1, that's the giant spaceship of Arthur Christmas. And apparently Tron TV's favorite game is, of course, Skylanders Mars Adventure, but it took him some time to get used to it. And for me, I got into it almost instantly when I looked at the trailers and stuff. I wasn't bothered by Spyro's design until I was informed about it. And then I slowed back down. And here's Chaos representing Skylanders, and it's the Wheel of Fortune thing. So you have a chance to win that little prize over there. Otherwise, you just get the poop. So I spun it for a bit, and then we have a winner. And then I looked to it, and this is what the person asked me to draw. These particular characters in any way, shape, or form. So I had no idea what to do with them, so I just drew them as buttons. That's about it. And I said I'll just take them. So yeah, that's my 2011 thing. And it's the last of my teen years, as next year I would transition from a boy to a man. Hope you've enjoyed this video.